plot twist, dropped the fuck out of barber school.
You dropped out?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Plot twist as fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
damn. I didn't know that. Oh,
Yo.
shit.
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast.
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. I'm your host, the man with absolutely no plan, the Chase with the face for radio, Chase Shurga. And boy, do I have one hell of an episode for you guys once again, so thank you for tuning in. This week, I am joined by one very good friend of mine, Geno Brancati, who is also the owner of the Broadway Barber Lounge in Fort Edward, New York. Check them out. But honestly, I was not expecting to have the conversation that I had with Geno. We literally talked for 2.5 hours. So once again, you guys are in luck. We're splitting this into a 2-part episode because there's so much good content, such a good conversation that I had with Geno. So this is going to be part 1, and part 2 is going to launch next week. In part 1, we talk all about Geno becoming a barber, what made him want to be a barber, making the transition from high school athlete to a barber. We talk social anxiety and so much more. I promise you, you guys are going to absolutely love it. So with that being said, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, crack open a cold one, and if you're really feeling fruity, take a shot. Why not? Because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today I am joined by one very special guest. To my left, your right if you're watching on YouTube, we have Geno Brancati, who actually used to be my barber before I grew my hair out and started donating it to, kids in need. But yeah, so Geno, he's a barber. He was my barber. And we got a good show for you. So I think we should get right into it. Geno, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. I was very excited for this episode.
Yeah, I've been waiting all day.
Not to degrade a couple of my past guests, but I haven't been this excited for an episode in a while. And that's just me being truthful. But
we like the honesty, and I've been pumped all day for this.
I know. You told me 3 times today that you were pumped, and I loved it. Every time I saw it, I was like, yo, let's go.
Cole is too. We all are.
Yeah, we could have started this 2 hours ago, but my ass got to work way late. Yeah, I still have a daytime job.
Hustling.
Podcast isn't paying the bills, sorry. But hustling. All right, so as we know, Geno, you are a barber. Mm-hmm. But before I get into you barbering, what did you do before you were a barber? I mean, actually, I'm going to make 2 questions in one. So what did you do before you were a barber, and what made you want to be a barber? Get into the field.
So the biggest thing for me was I never really did anything before I cut hair. I was just in high school.
You played sports in high school and stuff, right?
Yeah. So
you were a football guy.
Obviously tapping that football guy, yeah. I wrestled, played football, Hudson Falls.
He didn't have tattoos at the time.
No tattoos, but sorry, moms and grams.
Dude, my grandma, every time I get a tattoo, my grandma's so upset.
Honestly, at this point, they've accepted it, and they get excited once they see some new work, so it's cool.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And my grandma doesn't know I have lips on my ass. She'd be really upset. That's the one tattoo she doesn't know about.
Yeah, I think, honestly, you let the whole world know, but that's subjective.
Yeah, I did put it on my Instagram, but grandma doesn't have Instagram. But anyway, keep going.
So I got into cutting hair after I got out of high school because in high school, I was a good wrestler and football player. I had kind of a platform amongst myself. And I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn, like you said.
Toot your own horn. Go ahead. I tooted my own horn.
Yeah, but a small fish in a big pond is really what it was. It was I was good wrestler, football player at Hudson Falls, which graduates 180 kids. And I was made to be the shit my whole life because I was good. You
were good in sports.
Yeah, I was good from 6 years old. When I was young, they were like, yo, when he gets in high school, he's going to be good. So I bought into it. My dad and I, we did everything, man. We started working out when I was in 6th grade, I want to say. I traveled all over New York State to wrestle.
Dude, my dad never let me work out in 6th grade. Never told me to. What the hell, Dad?
Hey, my pops, bro, he's an OG. He's 55, and he's still lifting at the gym.
I quit baseball. My dad's like, okay. You should have been keep playing.
Honestly, dude, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that because, for me as a parent, if you're not ready to do that and push somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it isn't.
You're right. I'm just being a dick.
No, it's funny. But I had good parents in that way. They were super supportive, and they always built me up along with my family. So I always had high expectations and thought that the sky was the limit. So I got into sports. Like wrestling was definitely like more my platform, but it made me like more of like a public figure in the area.
I think that's the first. Before I actually knew you as like a friend, like I knew of you because of wrestling. I think if you run out of that, let me know. I got another one for you.
Absolutely.
But
I'm getting a little bit low.
Yeah, getting a little bit. So finish it right now. I'll get you another one.
All right.
Ah, my guy. I'll give you the draft top feel, but it's going to take me a second to set it up. So
All right.
keep going with your story, though.
So, basically, yeah, like, won 4 Section 2 titles in wrestling, placed at states twice, was a pretty good football player, and had a big following already, like, on social media, because I was lucky enough to be in high school during, like, when Instagram started to, like, be a thing. So, with that being a thing, I already had like 1,000+ followers of like real followers, like real people in the area that were engaged in
Local
whatnot.
people, right?
Yeah. So downfall of it inflated my ego, and I'll be like the first to admit it. Like when I graduated, that was like the biggest case of like humble pie in my life because, excuse me, like I knew I didn't want to go to school, but I didn't want like the saga to end. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So did you go to college?
for 3 weeks.
I went for 3.
And then I went to ACC and I dropped out. But.
Yeah, I went to ACC for it's a local community college for actually it's not called that anymore, but anyway, SUNY Adirondack. I'll say it, whatever. I went to SUNY Adirondack for 3.5 years. Changed my major halfway through. Still don't have a 2-year degree.
College
down.
is
You don't
slippery
need it.
slope. Slippery slope if you don't know what you want to do in life.
Exactly.
If you know what you want to do, then it's good. And I always said that. Like, but for me, like I went to Castleton because it was kind of close to home. I've been with my wife since.
How far
I was,
away is Castleton?
Like 45 minutes from where I live.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's Vermont, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So back to you and your wife.
So like I've been with her since like high school, and like obviously like we got married 4 or 5 years later. Been married for a year now. Like I knew it was obviously something more than just like high school love. So it was tough for me to like go away because for me, like I'm a very hands-on person. Like I'm not afraid to admit it. She knows like if I'm not there, I'm not there. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be there. So for me to go to school, that was like the biggest like fear for me. I'm like either I give up her or I give up football or like wrestling, like being like the man or whatnot. So for me, I was like like mentally like torn and like feeling like I had like almost like losing my identity in a way. So I went to school to Castleton, definitely realized it wasn't for me, dropped out after 3 weeks, went to ACC. To make a long story short, I was at ACC till about November, and then I ended up dropping out because, shout out to Jordan Maynard, owns Roots Barber Co., one of my best friends and someone I look up to. He got into cutting hair, and I had dropped out at Castleton, and I was going to ACC, and I was going through the motions. I hated it. Hated myself, bro. I like literally was never like have dealt with anxiety my whole life, but never been depressed before. Like I like was depressed. Like my wife was still going to school at the time, and like I was hearing all about like the chatter, like, oh, he dropped out and like he's gaining weight and this and that. So like I was like, dude, I had social anxiety. Like I didn't want to go anywhere, and like I was at the point, dude, where like I literally was like, I have no purpose and I'm not suicidal, but at the same time, I don't know why I'm here. And I never felt like that before.
And support for the Garage Boozing podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and I have an exclusive offer for my listeners. 20% off plus free shipping when you use the promo code TGBP20 at manscaped.com. That TGBP obviously stands for the Garage Boozing Podcast. But all right, boys, trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code TGBP20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code TGBP20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. with the whole social anxiety thing or anxiety thing, see, I respect that because like I've had like friends, even roommates in the past that have like dealt with anxiety, and I will say like I might have mentioned on this podcast before. I forget what I talk about sometimes, but I don't want to say I'm lucky or like maybe I'm blessed, I guess you could say, but like I'm not an anxious person. So like I've had conversations with my friends where they talk about anxiety or social anxiety and stuff like that, and I don't get it, to be honest with you. Like, and I don't mean like in a bad way.
No,
I'm saying just that I don't understand it because I've never felt it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I respect the shit out of people that have gone through stuff like that because like it's got to be tough. Like I'm not saying it's easy by any means. I'm just saying that I'm lucky. I'm nowadays, especially too. You probably have more people that get anxiety than don't get anxiety. So I might even be in the minority there.
Absolutely.
But I'm very lucky that like I'm not an anxious person by any means. But like, dude, I'm glad I'm not. Like,
Yeah,
no offense to that whatsoever. Like,
Definitely
I'm
should
so
be.
glad I'm not.
Yeah, you should be, because like anxiety is definitely not talked about, especially amongst like younger kids.
Even in like school,
Younger
middle
kids,
school,
that's
high school,
the
yeah.
biggest thing. And if anxiety is untreated, it's like any disease, bro. It spreads.
Dude, and
It
that's the
gets
thing
worse.
is like people that are anxious and stuff, you hear about that after high school. Like when I was going through high school, middle school, whatever grade I was in, you don't hear people saying like I have anxiety, I have this going on. It's always after because like you never learned about it, you know? So like the problem wasn't diagnosed.
Yeah, you're Superman in high school.
Yeah,
or you have to like act that way.
Put on a front.
So you're not as transparent. I know I wasn't as much, because going back to like with me like playing sports and stuff, I was always trying to keep up like this certain image. And honestly, now I've realized like fuck that. Excuse my language.
No,
but,
fuck
like,
that.
yeah,
Oh, you can
fuck
say
that.
say anything you want.
So yeah, like fuck that. Like I've realized now that transparency is the hands down biggest thing you can do as a human being if you want to build any type of real relationship, structure, or foundation in your life.
Yeah.
If you're not transparent, then you're not being yourself. The person doesn't know what you want or need, and you're not going to receive it, and you're mentally going to be fucked up. You're not going to be happy.
Dude, and yeah, and the thing is like people don't really, I feel like you don't really figure out who you are until after high school. Because when you're in high school, like, no, I'm not going to lie. You're not going to lie. Like, there's people you got to impress, or like, you got to put up a front. Exactly what we just said.
You're
so
guided.
Like, yeah, exactly. So like, there's a social, like, I don't know, social norm, stuff like that. People that fall under it, they're the weird kids, stuff like that. It's just like, it happens. It's a part of life. And it's like, I wish it wasn't that way, but it's just how it is.
Then they become millionaires. Don't
Yeah.
be mean
Oh
to your
my God.
weirdos.
Don't be mean to your weirdos, because if
They
you need
become
if you need a
millionaires.
buck, you might borrow the buck from the weirdo one day.
Exactly. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Basically, bro, like a lot of people don't understand anxiety in high school because it's not really talked about amongst like
Yeah.
your teachers and parents, because like a lot of parents want to shield their children and whatnot, which I understand. Like you don't want them to come to you about something like that till they need it, or like if it's not broken, don't fix it. But like, I had anxiety before I realized I knew what anxiety was.
That's what I was saying, right, exactly.
So that's what most people have. Like I had anxiety my whole life. I just didn't realize it.
It's not diagnosed. You don't
yeah.
know. You don't know what's going on.
After high school, I didn't have as much going on. I was going, to ACC and whatnot. So I was super worried about like even like my health. Like, excuse me, like I didn't feel well, bro. Like I was like I didn't want to wake up. I didn't have energy. I didn't go to the gym. I started to have an eating disorder. I started to mentally just like think negative about every situation. So I felt like I was dying almost, bro. It was the weirdest thing in the world. Like I knew I wasn't, but like
Mentally,
felt like I was.
mentally, you were
it was
just
like,
like,
yo, I can't survive in this mind state.
you like
that
didn't
much
give a
longer.
fuck, essentially, right? Yeah.
I almost gave too much of a fuck. Like that's always been my thing. Like I've
You
almost
gave too much of a fuck
yeah.
that you didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, in a way. So I went to the doctor. I got on like some medicine, whatnot. Like I've been on an SSRI. It's like serotonin receptor inhibitor or whatever.
What does that
I said it
do?
wrong.
That's big
supposedly
words.
it's like chemical imbalance. If you have anxiety, some type of anxiety. For me, I'm diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and OCD like thoughts. Like I don't have rituals. Like I don't need like my shit cleaned or whatnot. But like I tend to like think about the same shit that like bothers me, that I'm lacking in, that I want to do, that I can't do, whatnot. Like what I don't have too much.
Sure.
You know, I obsess over it. So that's like a lot of my thing. And I deal with like health anxiety. I always think I got something wrong with me. So I got a cough, I got cancer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, something like that. So I've always dealt with that. And then eventually, like, when you're in high school, you have so many distractions, bro. You're going to class, you have, you know, schoolwork. You got, for me, I had sports 24/7. If not, I'm working out. Life was good. Okay. I graduated. Life sucked.
Yeah, life was good in
Humble
high school.
pie,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Okay. So
And
I eventually,
that's a popular thing though. That happens to a lot of people.
yeah, man, high school is like not real enough, if I'm being real. Like
Yeah.
that, like the only thing that inspires me to be a teacher, which I never would be, because they make like politics too much into that shit. Like they can't even be
Yes.
real with you. Your teachers as real as they want to be, because they'll get fired for it. But like they don't teach you how to be an adult in school. So I dealt with that, and I started to, like I said, I was going through like depression and whatnot, and I wasn't very happy about myself. I started gaining weight. I gained 50 pounds after high school, bro. I was a wrestler. I sucked weight, and I dealt with the most unnormal ways to make weight and lose weight that you could possibly think of in your life, bro.
Dude, look at like UFC fighters and stuff. I know that's way extra than like high school wrestling, but still like the same thing. Because like UFC fighters, there are times where like they gotta make weight, they'll pass out right after they get on the scale, and it's just like nuts, dude. The shit they make you guys do, any athlete, to make a certain weight, but then the day after they step off the scale, they might be 10 pounds heavier. You know, it's just nuts.
And this is the difference, bro, between like the 20-year-old who's guided from a nutritionist and like people in his corner, or a 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kid who's in high school trying
With
to
one
make
coach.
weight.
Yeah, right?
Bro, they're doing the most unhealthy things in the world. And like I don't even know if this part will get aired, but like if I'm being transparent with my journey in wrestling to
I mean,
make
if you're
weight,
okay with it being aired, I'll air it.
I don't give a fuck. Like if like I would make myself sick, dude, to make weight. Like you're like no, like I'm 170-pound weight class, and I haven't had a full meal in a day because I'm starving and I need to make weight, and I've never been guided the right way to just be on a normal fucking diet and do it the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm like making weight on a Saturday, eating whatever the fuck I want, like you said, getting up to like 180. And then by Wednesday night, I got to be at 170 again.
Yeah.
So around Monday night, I'm depleting my body, bro.
Yeah.
I have no nutrients. I'm drinking water, taking a bite off a protein bar throughout the day here and there. And like I go into weigh-in Saturday or Wednesday morning, and I'm 170.8 or I'm 171. I'm overweight. So what do I do?
You can't wrestle?
Yeah, if you don't make weight. So what do I do, bro?
By a pound?
You either go on the treadmill and run fucking 5 miles, because that's what it takes to lose a pound, with like a garbage bag on, or you go in the bathroom stall and you take 2 fingers and you shove it down your throat.
And you were doing this as a teenager?
As a teenager.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that bad.
Not
Holy
even thinking
fuck.
twice of it, bro. I swear to God, not even thinking
So
twice of it.
if you were off by, you're in the 170 weight class and you're off by a pound, they're going to say
you have to be 170 on the dot or lower.
What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear to God,
no,
bro.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
1 pound, is that
Yeah.
like...
if you're 170.1, you are overweight, you better go jog around the
So are they
the
trying
building.
to are they trying to say that you have a huge advantage on the opponent because you're 1 pound heavier
just
than
a
them? What?
It's just a rule, bro.
What's the next weight class up?
182, 12-pound jump. So
So you got to be 170 on the dot or 182 on the dot. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out! What?
Right, yeah. And then the next one's
I wasn't a
160.
wrestler, so I don't know this. But what?
So from a young age, I developed horrible habits, bro. So now let me mind you, I gained a bunch of weight after high school. I don't like myself. I graduated at like 180. I'm like 230 now. Fat as shit in my eyes. I don't even want to go out in public. Like I want to go back to the high school wrestling meets because I'm proud of what I did. But I don't want to walk in like, holy fuck, he ate himself.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're gonna say at the
No,
gym.
no.
Like, you know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
what you're thinking in that mindset.
Exactly. So
Right.
I just stayed at home. I was depressed. I fucking hated myself, bro. So I, not initially, but like I eventually, luckily I found Jordan, bro. He was
that's
cutting
where we were
hair.
going before. Yeah,
He was cutting hair. I found Jordan.
Good friend of yours.
I asked him. The cutting hair to me was never, ever, ever, ever even in the question of my life.
You never thought you'd cut hair.
Never once, bro. I swear to God. I went to the barber, bro, and I thought that shit was a foreign
And
language.
you're damn good at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome, but we'll get into that.
So I thought this shit was a foreign language, bro. Like I remember the first barbershop that I went to, I actually was my first barbershop that I worked at was Rad Razors, and I
Glens
went
Falls,
there.
New York.
Glens Falls, baby. Russ Rad, appreciate you, bro. You put me on. So Russell owned a shop, and he had the first real new school barbershop in this area where people were doing real fades.
He did start a trend.
He started it, bro. He started it.
He did.
Anyone can hate, but he fucking started it.
Oh, he definitely
fucking
did.
started
No,
it.
yeah, Russ definitely like, and especially in our area, like there were like your fucking hair studio one stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like, your regular place to get a haircut, and you ask them for a fade, they're fucking your fade up.
Yo.
And then like Rad Razors open, and it did change the game. And just so you guys know, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but he's not this much taller than me. He's just sitting on a taller chair, just so you know. So I'm not a
He did
shrimp.
cover it, but it's true.
Yeah,
I am 5'8", bro.
Yeah, I might be taller than you then. I think I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not this short. I swear, my chair just sinks. But anyway, yeah, he did. He started something. He definitely did.
So Russell started that new culture, like that new school of cutting hair.
Yeah.
And
So you were a client at first.
I went to like Russell, Michael Buchero, or Andrew Mosier.
So they were all at
They
Rad-
all worked there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because that would, like I said, other than MLB, like Major League Barbers, there was nothing other than like hair salons.
Yeah.
So Russell started that shit. I was in like 11th grade. We started going there. I would go there only on special occasions like prom, senior dinner dance, like a
Get the
big
nice-
football game,
get the nice
something
fade,
like
something
that.
looks
Exactly.
good. Yeah,
I needed
right.
the
You
crispiness.
need-
If not, I'm
right.
going to Hankel's Barbershop in Hudson Falls. Something
Right.
quick. No disrespect, Hank. Love you. You're OG barber. You've done
It's
it
like
forever.
Kippers, Clippers, and stuff as
But
well,
it's
same
just
thing.
like zip
Yeah.
and boot. You're out. You got your guy. Okay. So you go there to get fresh. He was the first one that did it. I started going there. I remember I would watch him do it, and I'm just like, is this almost like art? Because Russell had art. You've been in his shop.
Yeah.
There's art all over the walls.
That's the first barbershop I went to.
Yeah, so-
he's the first guy that gave me a hot towel shave, and I was like, holy shit, this is wild. And back then, I didn't even grow facial hair. It was wild.
Facts. So Russell's dad is an artist, and he has like sick, dope, mind fucking paintings all over his walls, dude. That are
Almost
just,
trippy in a way. Like
trippy,
yeah,
bro.
Cool
I would-
artwork. Yeah.
Yes. So he has them all over
Barbershop
his walls.
feel. Barbershop
Yes.
feel. Yeah.
All over his walls, and I remember being in there as a teenager and like looking at them cutting hair and looking at the paintings, and I'm like, they're the same thing. If that makes sense to you, like,
Yeah.
they grew up knowing they knew how to cut. Like a painter grows up and they just were good when they were young.
Yeah.
I never thought it was something that you taught yourself. So I go to Jordan. We're getting so sidetracked.
No, go ahead.
And I'm like, Jordan's cutting my hair. He's working at Major League in Saratoga. And I'm talking to Jordan. I'm like, yo, I fucking hate school at ACC. I hate that I'm not a good wrestler, no more a football player. That I feel like a nobody.
You
This
feel
and that.
retired almost, right?
Facts, bro.
And you're
I
so
felt
young, you shouldn't
washed.
feel retired. You feel washed.
Felt like I hit my peak and like it was gone. So Jordan's cutting my hair and whatnot. We're talking, we're chopping it up. I've always liked the barbershop vibes. I've always been a trendy person. I've always been into style.
Yeah, you
clothes.
got style, bro.
Yeah,
For
thank
sure.
you.
You got style. I
Appreciate it.
all day.
Yeah, I've always been like very into like my image. Like I always said, like I even said to my wife in high school, if I could have a dream job, like I know this isn't really a job, it would be for me to like take some like, I mean this in no disrespect, but like scrub off the street, like some like 3 out of 10, and just like bring him to like a barber shop, bring him to like, you know, like the mall, ball him out and get him a new wardrobe and just show him what he could be.
That's not even disrespectful. That's like nice.
It's not. Yeah, and
That's
I make you a
nice.
7 at least, bro. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? It's how you
and then he ends with that. He's like, "Oh,
yeah. Like,
I'll take a 3 out of 10 and make him a 7.
Yeah. Like it's how you present yourself. Though,
You
in
double
life.
the scale, so
You know how you present yourself
Yeah.
is so much of it. So like,
presentation's a lot, man. It is,
and it
is.
goes into my career now as a barber, bro. Like,
confidence, all that shit. Your presentation has a lot to do with all that, you know.
absolutely. So to get into it, like Jordan's cutting my hair, and I'm like, I'm just picking his brain. Like, yo, how did you get into this? Like, did you always do this, Jay? Like, how did you start doing this? And he was like, nah, bro, I was out at school at Brockport. He said he needed some beer money, some fun on the side, some extra money. He's cutting up his boys in the locker room and like people in the dorm room, and he's just learning how to do it. He watched it on YouTube, and then he realized school wasn't for him, so he went to barber school, and he was going to Austin school. And I'm like, no shit, like that's crazy. I'm like, so you think anyone can learn how to do this? He's like, absolutely. Like a lot of it, he told me, is like the personality. Like you got to be a good person, like talk to people, like
Sell
you
yourself.
could do it. He pushed me to get into it, bro. If it wasn't for him, I don't know what I would be doing right now, but I don't think I would be married. I don't think I'd own a business. I don't think I'd have a house. I don't think I would have half of what I have.
And it's so wild because it is true, because I remember when you were working at Rad Razors and stuff, but like I remember because like I didn't really know you until I went to Rad Razor, because everyone was like, oh, go to Rad Razors. It was the spot at the time, you know? So like you want a skin fade, you go to Rad Razors. That didn't exist anywhere else. So I only knew of you. I knew of you back in high school. I think when did you graduate? Like
2015.
Okay, so yeah, you were a couple grades below me. But I graduated in 2012, but I still knew your name just from like the Post Star, the local newspaper, stuff like that, like local school stuff like that, wrestler, athlete, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So then, like when I found out you were a barber, I'm like, whoa, what? That's a crazy change. But like, bro, it's so cool that you made that change, you know?
And that is absolutely what Jordan said to me. He said, "You have the platform."
Yeah.
He said, "Go
100%.
to school." I got 4 months left, 2 months left, I think it was. You'd be in school with me. So I go to school, and I'm in school with Jordan, and it's on Central Ave in Albany. It's Austin School of Spa Technology, and I'm going to barbering school there. I drop out of college. I told my parents, like, hey, I want to be a barber.
And they're probably like, ugh. Or they were supportive about it.
Honestly, bro, like my parents have always really fucked with everything that I was doing.
See, that's cool. Good for you.
They're
good.
good.
For you.
They're
That's
good
all.
people, but I'm not gonna act like they weren't a little skeptic. Like my pops, more than anything, he was like, "How much is the school?" I said 8 G's, and you have to pay out of pocket because they lost their financial aid.
Oh.
Austin's is now closed now because of that. Now it's Paul Mitchell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Paul Mitchell. Sure.
Okay, so they're closed. Or Jesus, I'm sidetracked. So my dad's like, you got to make sure this ain't another phase, kid. Like you've gone to Castleton and dropped out, ACC and dropped out, and now you're going to barber school. Like I'm done putting up money. Like this is it. Like you better
if you want me to pay for it, you better fucking be real.
Yeah, and like he said, you're gonna pay back every dollar, but like you had to front the money up. They didn't, because they didn't have financial aid.
Sure.
They didn't let you pay like month by month. You needed to put the money down. So my dad fronted me the 8 G's to like go to school, and I told him like, "Yo, I'm gonna do it. I want to."
That's almost motivation at the same time for you, you know? Because like if you get that ultimatum at the end, and they're like, "Listen, this better be the one," you're like, "All right."
Honestly,
the worst thing about I don't know what you're about to say.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna say
I'll hold it. Go ahead.
The worst thing is like you tell your parents like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this," and then like you don't do that and you disappoint them. There's not. I'd rather piss my dad off all day than disappoint my dad.
Facts.
Or my mother at the same time. Either of my parents.
Okay.
I would much rather have them be infuriated with me than disappoint them. Because when I hear the words, "I'm disappointed," I'm like, fuck. I fucked up.
Human nature, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that feels
we are
worse.
Here, you should be here as like a people pleaser. If you're not like a human.
Don't get me wrong. Making them mad makes me upset. But like at the same time, like making them disappointed makes me much more upset.
Absolutely. So my thought was I never really had like the mentality like of failing. But like when I got out of school and started to drop out and stuff, I started to like definitely lose some of like my mojo and like my confidence.
Yeah.
But I felt this spark with barbering. This is the thing with barbering, bro, is I saw a platform again. Like I knew I could have went to school and been a gym coach, but who the fuck am I gonna be? Like, and I mean this in no disrespect, because like I shouldn't say that. There are some like teachers who like touch my soul. There are some like car salesmen you might meet that touch your soul.
Yeah.
And other thing. But like I just can't do that shit, bro. Like I can't go to work and work a 9 to 5 and just be one of like nothing and like not have people like go home and like impact their lives.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
100%.
I've always done that, bro.
Sure.
I've always stood out. So I was like, yo, this is something I can be like a public figure in again. Like, so that's what drove me, bro. Like I'm a narcissist, but in a good way, bro. Like I'm a nice
I say that all the
narcissist.
time. Like
Yes.
I'm definitely a narcissist by definition, but like I'm not a dickhead narcissist.
Exactly.
You know,
I
like,
want to see people win.
Yes.
But I need to win, bro. If I'm not winning, bro, if I'm not like achieving and like progressing, if I'm not important, bro, why am I here? That's how I think.
You're saying you put yourself first, and that's not in a bad way.
Probably
Like,
second. Now,
Okay, well,
now that I'm
okay, that's different.
with
You
my
get a wife
but
now, so
yes.
I'm single. I don't have a wife, so
Yeah. Absolutely.
I
bro.
don't have a wife
Fuck- Fuck the friends. Fuck the outside shit. It's all about building yourself up, because you never know when someone's going to stab your back. And it's not that I don't love my friends. I don't put them on. You can ask any of my friends, bro. My house is open to everyone. I'm
You're a
open to
good friend.
everyone.
Yeah.
I'm a good friend. But at the end of the day, I got to get mine, because I got to do what's right for me.
And I'll
in my
agree with you,
lifetime.
because I think if I did have a wife and I was married, of course I'm going to put my family first, but I'm not at that step yet, like my good friend Geno here, who is at that step and has a wife. But like, if the wife didn't exist, like I'm not going to put that in, but whatever, like you're putting yourself first. I'm putting
Facts.
myself first. I put myself first, but at the same time, I want every person I care about to succeed. I don't want, like, if you're my friend, I care about, or even if I don't give a fuck about you. I don't want a negative feeling against someone, like, unless like they killed my family, you know, like that then I'll think negatively of them and not want them not to succeed. But other than that, I like seeing people do good. Even like people that I went to high school with that like I don't even associate with anymore. I see they're doing good. I'll like their post on Facebook. I'll like their post on Instagram. Good. They're doing great. I love that. You know?
Absolutely. Because there's room for everybody to win in every category, bro.
Absolutely.
And, like, people are too busy being jealous over other people's success, and they're, like, almost afraid to show love. So, like, two things I want to touch on, what you said. Number one is, like, that most people in your area, they don't think that way. So, like, this is almost like
a lot of people don't think like us. Exactly.
Yes.
You're right.
My biggest regret, almost in a way, like if I didn't have the girlfriend from like high school and my wife now, and like I got into cutting hair, bro, I would have left and gone to like some city, and I feel like I already would have been blown up and had.
You'd be cutting hair in like NYC or like LA or something, right?
Probably Florida, some shit like that, like a big barbering state, and my social media would have already taken off, but like. Obviously, I stayed local because of that, and there's not as much traction up here. You know that.
Yeah.
You're in a small town. Right?
But at the same time, you're happy, right? Like,
absolutely. You know, I'm happy. But, like, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, there are so many paths and whatnot, and you have to, like, weigh out, like, the pros and cons in them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And see which one is worth it. For me, I had stable, like, foundation and someone who kept me on track, someone I'm in love with, someone that like supports me and let me be myself.
You have a very supportive wife.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Someone who lets me be myself like 100%, which is the biggest thing in like another person. So
because you're way different than you were a couple years ago, you know, and that's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
And that's the biggest thing in relationships is like most people don't last. It's not because you don't love each other. It's because you change as a human. Think about who you were at 21, 22, 23, 24. In
different paths.
Exactly. For you to change with that person each year, bro, that is hard fucking work. And that is like being with the right person.
And you guys have been together since high school, you said, right?
Yeah, since we were
and that's,
17,
and
16.
that's nuts because you are a completely different person now than when you guys first met. And she was by your side the entire time. And that's fucking awesome.
Exactly.
Because you see high school sweethearts all the time that like one of them will go to college for 4 years. One will go in the military, for example, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they come back, and like after that 4 years, and they get back together, and it's just like they're both two different people. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you had someone stand next to you that was like supporting you the entire time. That's cool. You got lucky there, and I applaud you for that.
Absolutely, and that's why like.
And I applaud her for that too.
Yeah, no, that more applaud for her because I'm not the easiest person to put up with because like we said, I am selfish.
Sure.
I'm thinking about my business, everything all the time, like, which she is too. But like we both know how to like. Grind for ourselves and then make time for each other.
Exactly,
which is fine. Fuck, man, we get so sidetracked doing this shit.
And you guys are married now. It's nuts that you're married, dude. That's crazy.
I know. It's been a year now, and I mean, honestly, bro, it's just at the point where like, I just feel like it's like second nature. Like it doesn't really feel like we're married or anything. Like she's just the person. Like I'm building my.
You're your
life
second
with.
half. She's your second half.
Yeah, like I need to be with her. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not with her, then like...
And I think you found the perfect girl for you, too. Like, honestly. And that's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I definitely did. And I'm happy that she was with me from the beginning because, like, she even supported, like, the barbering thing and said, no, like, I think that's going to be good for you. Like, you already do have, like, a public figure. Like, you already will have people that are going to come to you, even though you're not good, just because they played football and wrestling against you.
Yeah, you had a name. You had a name. You were a name in the local area, you know?
So I'm like, you know what? You're right. And I was thinking about all that, and I'm like, all right, bro, I'm going to go to school and do this shit. So I went to barber school, instantly fell in love with it. People were, like, interested in it, so it made me fuck with it more because I'm like, wow, people like the fact of being a barber. I have a new career, a new pathway, something I can excel in and be unique, be myself, be transparent.
And have fun with it.
Exactly, bro. So I was like, dude, I literally felt like God just, like, gifted me, like, with, like, a purpose again. Like, somebody, like, I, like, prayed to like I don't even know who our higher power is, bro. Like, don't even really want to get into that. But like, I just say, name
there's something
the Father,
there.
Son, Holy Spirit,
there's something.
Amen.
Whatever you are.
Yeah, whoever my spirit guides are, whoever my angels are, please listen to me. I hate my life right now. I have no direction. I need purpose again. If you give me purpose, I promise I won't let you down.
And see, that makes me sad how you started it, but it makes me happy how you ended it. You know, you're like, I hate my life right now. That sucks, but like, you're like, listen, whatever it is, give me a sign.
He's like, just don't let me down. And I swear to God, I went to Jordan maybe like a week later, bro. Got my hair cut by him, and I just knew this is what I'm gonna do.
So he guided you to go to barber school.
He guided me to go to barber school. I went to school with him for 2 months,
And then you went to Rad Razors?
plot twist, dropped the fuck out of barber school.
You dropped out?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Plot twist as fuck. Oh,
Yeah.
damn. I didn't know that. Oh,
Yo.
shit. After 2 months, you dropped out.
4 months, yeah, bro.
4 months,
I'm
okay.
a 3-time dropout, bro. I graduated high school. I dropped out at Castleton, ACC, and barber school. And listen, I only dropped out of barber school because I outgrew that shit. And I'm not even saying, I'm saying that in the most humble way possible. I got a job at Rad Razors my first week in the barber school. So on my off days.
So you didn't need a barber license to work there?
No, you get an apprenticeship license and you can work.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And then this
Oh,
is
this
the
is
thing.
getting
You go to
interesting.
school for either 8 months to barber school and you can take your master barber course, or you can go work underneath someone for 2 years and take your master barber course.
So like, I'm going to work under 2 years.
So I'm
instead
going to
of
make
college.
Brad underneath Russell, not pay for school, and then get the same license in 2
Oh,
years.
so if you're doing the apprenticing, you don't have to pay for the school.
Exactly, you're done.
Oh.
I'm paid for booth rent each week. So long
Oh,
story
so
short,
that's how you rent the booth. Actually,
Yeah.
that is a future
So
question.
I got an
have here, so.
apprenticeship, bro, is what happened. I was posting pictures on Instagram, and Eric Martinez reached out to me. Shout out Eric Martinez. You have done more than I can ever thank you for. He gave me my job at Rad Razors, bro. He reached out to me. I went to school with this kid named Brad Wood, and it was like his brother-in-law or some shit. And he was showing on my post, and he's like, "Yo, this kid I went to high school with. He's cutting hair. Look at this." I was cutting like Ryan Bradley's hair, you know, Ryan.
Yeah.
like, a bunch of people in my
He lives
basement.
a street over from me.
Yeah, in my basement and whatnot. And he's like, "Yo, he's nice for just starting." He hit me up, asked me to come to Rad Razors. Told him I was in school. I was in school for like 2 weeks. He said, "How do you want to get an apprenticeship and cut on your off days?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Like, it felt surreal, bro. Honestly, it felt like a dream come true. It honestly felt too good to be true. I was shocked that I was 2 weeks into cutting hair and I'm working at Rad Razors, bro. I was just getting my hair cut here 2 years ago
But if
and
you
just
want-
told you I thought it was a foreign language.
If you wanted a skin fade, Red Razors was the fucking place at the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
Downtown Barber Co. had just opened up. They were like 8 months new. So it was them and Downtown Barber Company. We were fucking busy, bro. We were
Yeah.
cutting crazy heads. On my off day, bro, I'm making $100 to $200. So now I'm looking at it like this. I'm going to school. I'm cutting hair on a mannequin while I could be at Russell's shop making money.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
So you drop out.
So I drop out because me and Eric have a fallout. Eric leaves Russell's shop, who is my apprentice barber. Russell says, "Dude, drop out of school and work for me. I promise I'll take care of you. Get the same license in 2 years." I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like,
So
I
that's
don't
what
want to
you
be
did.
going to school. Yeah, I did it, bro. And he was like, "You're going to make $1,000 a week, dude, and you're fucking 18 years old." Like, how the fuck
You
does
were
that sound?
18 when you were doing that?
18, bro. I got right out of high
Really?
school and did it.
Damn.
So, 18 years old, I'm like,
So
all right,
how old are you now?
24.
Oh shit! I didn't. Okay, I'm 27.
So it's
okay,
been
that
6
does make
years now.
sense. Okay, yeah.
In January. It's been 6 years. Technically, I was 19. I lie. I graduated at 18 years old, and then I turned 19 in October. So it's been 5 years that I've been cutting.
All right, close enough. Same thing.
But same thing. So long story short, like, I'm working for Russell, and he wants me to work for him because now Eric and Ace are leaving, and he only has me and another guy left at the shop, and he needs someone to pick up the slack. And I talked to Austin's. I say, if I leave now, do I have to pay all the $8,000? They said no. Only it's a clock term school. Only time you've been there. I was there for like 3 to 4 months. I paid them like $3,800, and I looked at it like, yo, I paid $3,800 to get my foot through this door.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the industry, and I get the same license, and I'm gonna make that money back, dude. I made that money back in a month and paid my dad back.
So apprenticeship, is that like you're watching the person? Like that's how that what?
I mean,
like,
if you want to, but I was already above that, bro. Russell was feeding me, bro.
Damn.
Russell was answering his phone and saying, "I'm booked up, but Geno can take you."
Dude, I remember there was the
Yes.
first time you cut my hair was at Rad Razors when like I text him and he's like, I'm booked up, but Geno will cut your hair, and that's the first time he cut my hair. Yeah.
Absolutely. So he fed me, bro. And I was just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and making money. And I was like, dude, I'm living at home. I don't have a car payment. I had no fucking payments, bro.
Yeah.
Other than the school payment. I was giving my dad a fucking $1,000 a week.
And you're
I had
just
it paid
making
off
money.
in a month.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was making money. And I grew up quick. Like, my wife graduated in June that year, and I was working at Russell's shop. So, like, we ended up getting an apartment in, like May of that year. And, like, to make a long story short, man, like, this breaks my soul to talk about, but it's just the truest thing. Like, I ended up leaving Russell
Yeah.
after, like, 8 months. Like, I worked for Russ for, like, 8 months, and Downtown Barber Company offered me a job. They kind of have bad blood. I'm not going to air that shit out on here, but they used to work for them, and they just don't like each other. They open up around the corner.
Open up their own place.
It's more Russell just has a feeling against them.
Yeah.
But, dude, their shop was next level, bro. It was like I was in the G League, and, like, the fucking Nets just offered me a job.
Yeah. Like,
how could I not go?
I mean, for a person that's been in Downtown Barber, like, that shit was...
That old shop was fucking
level.
nuts.
Next level.
Nuts, bro. And the biggest thing was Russell couldn't teach me anything anymore, bro. I got as good as him within like 8 months, and I was looking to grow. He is a different kind of barber, and this is no disrespect. He wants to get someone out of their chair in like 20 minutes and make money.
Yeah.
I spend an hour, 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes on someone, depending on the haircut. But I get paid way more for it. That's a totally different subject. But that's what I'm in it for. I'm in it for the art, bro. He was in it for the hustle and the money, which doesn't, dude, everybody's definition of quality is different.
Different.
Quality to you could be coming in the shop and getting cut and done in 15 minutes, or quality to you could be getting cut by me for 45 minutes and it being flawless.
Yeah.
That could be too long for someone and they could be pissed.
So it depends on the
So
client.
quality is on the
Absolutely.
person. Russell, I'm not knocking him, bro. That is his grind
And
at
he's
his
still
shop.
hustling. He's still hustling.
That is his grind at his shop, but that wasn't my grind. So I went to Downtown Barber Company. They taught me everything, bro. They, like Andrew Mosier there, he's taught me. I still use the same fading system that dude taught me back when I first started. So I take a job there about 8 months later. I'm working for them. My career started to kind of take off there.
Yeah, that's when I started coming to you regularly.
Yes.
When you switched barbershops.
Yeah, I started to get like booked up. I started to learn how to like really cut hair, place a fade.
That place was huge too.
Yeah, dude, the atmosphere, the vibes were amazing. Like, there was 3 owners there, and when I first started, I was the 7th addition to the team. So there were 7 of us, and it was always a very like family-oriented vibe. Good music on the floor, cool clients coming in, pool table,
Couches you can chill on while you're
dartboard.
waiting and shit.
Yeah, just like awesome environment, bro. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. When I first went there, bro, I was just like nervous to even work there. It was so cool. I was like, this place is amazing. And
even the name Downtown Barber Co. Like,
yeah,
that's a cool
yeah.
fucking
No,
name,
bro,
you know?
they have it. They not have it. They have had it going for themselves.
For sure.
And
I mean, I could think
they're
of
the staple of the community.
I could think of another name as cooler than it, like Broadway Barber Lounge.
BBL. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get into
Yeah.
that. We'll get into that.
So,
Lounge is just
basically,
a cool word.
it was about. I went to barber school in 2016, and now it's November 2016. I went in January 2016. Now it's November 2016, and I'm now leaving Rad Razors and going to Downtown Barber Company. I'm working there, and I worked at Downtown Barber Co. for about 3 years, bro. And I worked there, and I bought in, bro. I was obsessed with it. They could tell. They put my station next to Mikey Buchero, very good barber. Andrew was next to it. I watched their every move. I picked their brain. I watched barber videos. I kept my content up the best that I could at the time and that I had knowledge of. And I slowly built, a craft there. I built amazing memories with those guys, dude. We went to Connecticut Expo, had great times just like after hours doing stuff as like a team. They taught me like what like family was and like I guess what like the real environment and feel of a barbershop vibe should be.
You learned a lot.
And nothing against like Russell's shop, but like that just wasn't there. Like you know what I'm saying?
You didn't have the family
like
vibe.
I loved Russell, like I had it with him, but like we all were at Downtown.
Yeah.
We ended up growing to have 9 people by the time I left. Now it's about, if we're fast forwarding, it's about 2018 now to 2019. And I'm at the point now where I'm booked up a week in advance. I'm their best barber there, other than their owner, Andrew.
So we're about to get in when you open your own shop.
Basically.
All right, folks, let me tell you all about the pump action shotgun tool. Whoa, there's a tool for shotgunning? Hell yeah, there is. So listen to this. The pump action shotgun tool, created by the Drunk Engineers. Love that name, by the way. It makes shotgunning a hell of a lot easier, and let me tell you how. So you're going to take your beer, and you're going to stick it right in the shotgun tool, like this. Hold it like that so the air pockets are up here, and then you're going to give it a little squeeze. You're going to hear pop, bam, pop. But look at that. No mess. So right now the air pocket's right up here, and you're going to want to make sure you take this, push that down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to rotate the tool. Hold the beer can in place to the mouthpiece. Then you're going to put your mouth on the mouthpiece and shotgun. And boom, no mess. You can shotgun at the dinner table, family events, wherever you want with absolutely no mess. So forget shotgunning, slamming a knife right through. Yeah, not a thing anymore. Thanks to the pump action shotgun tool by Drunk Engineers. And you can get yours right now. So just log on to www.drunkengineers.ca. Don't forget to use promo code GarageBoozing for 15% off site-wide. That's right, promo code GarageBoozing for 15% off site-wide. Go get yours now. Thank me later. Back to the show. Woo! What an episode. And if you want to hear the rest of that conversation, you're going to have to tune into my part 2 conversation with Geno Brancati next Tuesday. Guys, like I said, I knew you guys were going to love it, and that was just part 1. We've got so much more coming at you next week. In part 2, we're going to talk all about Geno finally opening his own shop, getting to where he is now, being the content creator he is, launching his own merch, and then we go off the map. We talk conspiracies, we talk this, we talk that. There's so much coming at you in part 2, so stay tuned. Next Tuesday on the Garage Boozing Podcast with special guest Geno Brancati of the Broadway Barber Lounge, and it will definitely be worth the wait. So go check out Geno. All his social media links are in the description below. You can find him on Instagram at Geno Brancati Hair. But folks, please don't forget the absolute #1 way to support the brand. Buy some merch. We've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we got sweatshirts. You name it, we got it. And it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net. And nerds, don't forget to follow the brand on all of your favorite social media accounts at Garage Boozing, as well as YouTube, if you'd rather watch than listen. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, whatever the button is, on all of your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released. We are on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Pandora, we are everywhere. All podcast platforms, you name it, we're there. Go subscribe. Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today. And guys, thank you so much for your support. This whole thing would not be possible without all of you. So I thank you guys every week. I'm going to continue to do so because without you, there's no brand, there's no podcast. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. And with all that being said, I'll see you nerds next week.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing, alcohol chugging, and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net. Click the Be on the Show tab and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement or be a loser. Don't miss your chance because we're taking this to the moon.